drawing.
Well, I'm trying something new because somebody asked me how to stream live to Facebook, and I'm like, this should be easy. So we should be doing this as well.
I was gonna say, I didn't realize it was your birthday last weekend. Happy birthday, David.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you didn't remind us. Thanks.
What was that?
I said you didn't remind us it was your birthday.
Oh,
I had to rely on Facebook telling me it was your birthday. And I was like, now I feel bad because we just saw David. It was last Saturday then?
yeah, it was last Saturday.
Okay. It's like mental note. Add that to the I could say I put it in my agenda, but I don't use an agenda for anybody's birthday. I always rely on Facebook telling me it's your birthday. So
Yeah. Well, that's basically what, like I do anymore. And the funny thing is that you you get a lot of people on there that said it's their birthday, but you don't know them.
well, and you don't know if they're using a fake birthday. That's what I find a lot because I'll be like, "Hey, happy birthday!" It's not my birthday. And I'm like, "But Facebook says it's your birthday, so you lied to Facebook. So everything else you're gonna tell me is a
Yeah,
lie."
yeah. I've had some of those people do that too.
It's one of those things where if you're lying about your age but using the right birth dates, but
Yeah.
then you're like, "What? How old are you really?"
Well, the first year I was on Facebook, I didn't get any birthday wishes because I was scared to put my birthday out there. And so the following year, I said, I'm wishing everybody a happy birthday. Yeah, I better put a birthday in there or something. So I did.
I'm gonna go remind Julio we're online because he likes being reminded that we're online.
I didn't do too bad. I got probably over 130 birthday wishes from Facebook.
Wow, okay. You're popular on Facebook.
That's awesome. Well, David, it's funny that you say that because I used to have my birthday on. Then years ago, I removed my birthday. I think it doesn't even show up. And if it does, it says that my birthday isn't actually my birthday. And I was born in like 1901. So you know what? Like I'm 124 years old.
Yeah, you're doing good. You look
I
good.
look great, don't I?
Yeah, you sure do.
Well, one of the things I did realize was like how much if they don't know it's my birthday, they're probably not that close to me. But I do realize too, as I get older, like, and getting to know you, why would we talk about our birthdays, right? Like, that's not really something you really talk about, right? So I
Right.
get where that stands and that's a benefit, but I don't necessarily need everybody to remember it's my birthday or remind me that I'm getting older every year.
Well, I was even scared about putting my birthday on Tombstone when I buried my wife. And because everything, of course, now everybody knows all your, if they want to do something, they can really do something. If they want to steal your identity, there's nothing, they just do it.
Well, it's so easy now. It doesn't even matter if your birthday's out there or not. Everybody's been like, it doesn't matter. If you've ever used anything, I'm sure at some point your stuff's been compromised, right? And
Yeah.
that's the unfortunate thing is that what was it? Oh, just like how easily they can scam and get a hold of people's things by going to your cell phone company and convincing the cell phone company to port your phone number to somebody else's phone number and it wasn't even the owner. And what I think is so insane about that is that the weakest link is the cell phone companies and they need to find a way to do their due diligence when they're doing it. Like either the person has to actually physically go into a location with ID or something so they know they're actually doing it. But I actually had this conversation because I was really researching in it because somebody else I knew got a bunch of scamming because they were able to mimic their SIM card, right? To essentially steal their phone number to get access to a bunch of things because it's usually the two factor, right? And I was wondering, like, I was having the conversation actually with chat, and I'm going, well, why aren't these companies made to fix this? Because clearly they're the weakest link. Well, no, it's not important enough. It's not. It's legitimately you, the user, need to figure out how to just protect yourself. And that's how this works. So we're all given all these things, yet none of these companies are accountable to their processes. And like I'm like, how am I going to stop somebody from duplicating my SIM? Right? Like what am I supposed to do to stop my cell phone company from being lazy and not verifying it's me when I, called in to do that, right?
Yeah.
Hi, Kristen.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Hi, thank you. Good to be back.
How are you doing?
Oh, well, funerals take a lot out of you. It was definitely almost,
Tra Travel takes a lot out of us because we're just like, how
yeah,
many days are we gonna sit in each city between a 5 or 6 hour drive?
yeah, between the travel and my uncle dying and all the stuff that goes with that, it's a lot, but we're getting our schedule back and I'm glad to be back and caught up on the recordings and yeah, I'm excited. And all the
Perfect.
new members, I'm so excited about that.
I'm sorry?
All the new members.
Well, I'm literally showing up to people's cities and I'm like, show up, because I know you need to do content. And it's not going to be amazing overnight, but we can work through this over the next 52 weeks or 104, like whatever. Like, we'll just show up. I'm like, you tell me what personalized help you need, and then we'll come up with a plan because every person is working on some type of content on some type of platform. And this training is not necessarily all YouTube related, right? We're just like, hey, let's come up with stuff. There's always some technical issue that kind of stops people from moving forward. Technical or schedule or excuses that stop you from moving forward. So
Yeah.
I'm just like, let's solve them. We had supper with a friend outside of Boston here last night, and we're like, she's like, I got these questions. I'm like, message me. It might take me a couple days, couple weeks to get you an answer, but I'm gonna get you an answer because it may not be something I deal with every day. And she's like, AI music for her show. And I was like, but I can't get it off this app. And I'm like, give me your phone for a little while. I'll get the AI music off your app so you can use this AI music on something else, right? Because people are open to playing with all these technologies, but it doesn't mean anything is straightforward and easy. You can make it, you're just like, how can I use it now? And you're like, I'm like, don't give up. I'll get it off there for you. Because, I didn't know. I sort of knew you could make AI music. I sort of knew you could make your own stuff, but I haven't really played with any of that stuff because there's so much stuff on the internet, and I'm trying to figure out my own workflows because certain things are straightforward and easy, and other times you're like, I've been trying to troubleshoot something for 2 weeks, and there doesn't seem to be any answer on the internet, which means I have to figure it out myself. And I know all my end users, all my customers, are like, you Mike, you just tell us to figure it out yourself and then come and ask you. And I'm like, well, I want you to understand how much work is involved with troubleshooting.
Well, and plus it's you learn something new and then they can learn something new and then maybe it can be found on the internet.
Well, and or we're gonna document it, right? Because this is the whole point of this class is like, hey, I've got an idea. There's this app or there's something out there that people are starting to use and mass adopt, but there's never my whole life I'm like, have you ever bought anything or been involved with anything where there's the instructions are not very good? Like building IKEA
Yes.
furniture or a barbecue or anything else, and you're like, who made these instructions and who was allowed to print these horrible instructions? And I'm like, this is why we need video content because some people like me, I'm just like, I can figure some stuff out, and other things I'm like, I need instructions to figure out why this was built or why
Mhm.
the instructions are so poor. Because I know I'm not going to be the only one looking for the instructions or looking for the how-to on YouTube because the last 2 weeks is what we've been working on or what we were working on was I had a friend say, "Hey, I'm having issues with my WordPress website. It's super slow." And I'm like, "Well, based on Google and based on a bunch of online tools, the functionally the WordPress website's perfect. The
Mhm.
challenge is the end user and anybody visiting the website, it's super slow." And I was like, well, I've got a lot of experience with WordPress, but usually for me, I'm just like, I'd go to YouTube, and then I was like, well, there wasn't really any satisfying answer on YouTube. I was searching for it, and then we went through one of the YouTube plugins we use is vidIQ, and vidIQ will show you how to, it's got a bunch of tools. Like it'll let you It'll give you good titles and descriptions and thumbnails for your videos. But you can also use it to research what topics in your niche are high searched but don't have any competition, meaning people are searching for that particular item on YouTube and they're not finding an answer. And that's a strategy for making videos going into the future is like, hey, I'm in tech support or building websites or real estate or this or this or this. Like, what are people searching for, and what is their low competition for? Because it might spark some creative ideas. It might give you some ideas on what to make future content about, right? So I was like, I'm having this issue with this e-commerce plugin for WordPress. Then I'm like, hey, everybody's searching for this on YouTube. There's not very much good content. And then I'm like, oh, vidIQ will actually generate you a script. Obviously, it's AI generated. You're going to have to change the words out a little bit. And I'm like, this is so factually correct, this script. Um, I went back to the end user and I'm like, hey, exactly what I thought is the problem is the problem. You need to test moving it to another hosting company that does WordPress faster. You need more performance, you need more horsepower for your WordPress to be as fast as you think it should be. Doesn't mean the end user likes that answer that they have to move it because they've paid for 3 years of hosting. But I'm like, okay, it's having
Mhm.
tools that can give you ideas on what content to make in the future is great. So
Yes.
I know you've been busy, so how have you come up with ideas, script? Like, what's your process so far over the last couple weeks? What have you been working?
So we dove into the new show Icons of Naples. So
Okay.
we are creating content for that. The problem is always finding a space to film three people at a time because
Okay.
it ends up being like a 6 hour process. So in September, I had to cancel because I was out for almost 3 weeks. And
Hmm.
then, but now we're lining up again for October. We only have five in the bank and we don't want to release until we have at least 12 in the bank because we know our heavy season here in Naples is coming up. So if we have a month we can't film, we don't want to have a blank week, but it's going really good. I mean, getting guests is always a challenge, but out of that also came, and this is something I might connect you with them, is there's a local station here in town that a lot of us joke around. We call it the Bro Network because it's always just all these men.
Yeah.
Well, somebody bought into them. It's called 239 Live. Somebody bought into them and they want to create. When I told him this, he was a little shocked. And I said, "Well, look at your lineup. Look at who you have on your channel. It's a bunch of bros. And not all the bros have like there's a couple bros that don't have the best relationship with this community at whole. So you're going to have to change perspective." So we came up with the idea because they want to do lives to YouTube. And they came up with the idea of maybe on Tuesdays and Thursdays, knock the guys out and do like they want to do meditation and sound healing and then go into like some sort of show that they're talking to me about hosting on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I said, okay, that you're going to have to retrain your audience because you're kicking the boys out on those 2 days. It's doable as long as a majority of your programming, I think, is that way. And then he said somebody came up with the idea, and this is where I thought of Julian. It, is they came up with the idea of, or Julia, sorry if I said that wrong. They came up with the idea of kids programming, and I said, well, there's probably some legalities in there because the people, depending on who's on there and what kind of programming you use, well out of my realm. I only know that from the modeling world. A lot of the restrictions about having kids on screen for X amount of time. And I don't know what the restrictions are in Florida because a lot
Hmm.
of the stuff we did was modeling. So they were only technically on stage for less than 4 minutes. So we never had to address that, except for rehearsals couldn't be over X amount of time. So he said he's not ready for that because first he wants to get the weekday programming. But I immediately thought of your daughters and what she's doing. And I said, listen, I know people that are well more versed in YouTube kids programming than I am. So when you're ready, I'll let you know. But that's kind of this second project just popped up, but that's where Icons of Naples is. But in talking about the programming, because they do not want to call it the Kristen Reardon Show, I don't
Mhm.
know why they want to keep 239 live. I mean, I understand it as a logo, so I'm trying to talk him in, soft sell him, because people get their ideas
Yep.
on. You have to have a tagline for the segments. You can't just call the whole thing 239 live, because people don't know what they're tuning into. And then I said, let me get some creative ideas going that are feminine-esque, and maybe we'll do like a wisdom with Kristen, and then your show beforehand should be like sound bowls and meditation with. And so I'll have another meeting with him about that. But I'm grateful for the meeting. It looks like I'm going to get the segment, and regardless, it made me say, you know what? I have a lot to say on the Kristen Reardon show, and I'm going to go back and watch some of the scripting videos, because it's okay that I don't have a studio and do them live. If I have to get some of the amazing people I know around the world on a Zoom situation for or StreamYard or whatever I want to use, um, that's okay, as long as I'm making content.
As long as you're making content.
So those were my hurdles: creativity and current new projects.
Okay. No, I've been following up with some students, and some are just like, I'm recording, and you said 13 episodes, so I'm working on my first season before I release everything. I'm like, just touching base
Yeah.
because um everybody's got a lot on the go, and I'm like, it's already been a week, and I tried to do host this from Raleigh, North Carolina, from a hotel last week, and then that didn't work, and then I was in the truck, and then I kept getting disconnected, and I was like, okay, this workflow I'm trying to figure out. It's taken me weeks because I want to have a bunch of virtual avatars as our salespeople, right? So it's
Nice.
like, because AI videos are easy and fun until you're like, the software. So it doesn't matter if it's you as a human in front of in a studio trying to figure out the studio space, figure out obviously RV lighting sucks. So I've not recorded it. This is why I want virtual avatars. Because like RV lighting sucks. Doing it from a vehicle sucks. It's okay on an iPhone, but you're gonna get distracted. There's always noise. The biggest thing with having a studio is you can usually at least control the noise and the audio. So, but then of course ideas, scripts, creativity, all that fun stuff. So,
Mhm.
I was gonna go jump back into vidIQ today and look for some more look use their tools and look for some more ideas and just give you a couple, just re-show you the interface. I don't know. I was gonna, I don't know. Is there anything particular you want to go over, or I've just been working along making videos for my four channels I have. So.
I know personally I work well when I see other people doing the process and explaining it, than just people telling me go here and do that. I don't know.
I just wanted to know because I was like, people have been messaging me offline. I'm working on a couple different I'm just really consulting on a lot of other channels right now where I don't have permission to show that stuff, but it's like I've got somebody in New York, I got somebody in Abu Dhabi, and they're just sending me content, and I'm literally watching hours of their own content and saying, okay, this is what you've been doing, giving you some ideas, and I don't want you to edit anything, just like that's really what I've been doing behind the scenes is just working on other people's channels
Nice.
for case studies to give them whatever what we're gonna empowering them to keep going because they feel burnt out from making videos from years. And I'm like, we got to find out what works in your niche and double down on it,
Right. Right.
right? But without regularly making content, it's just that spray and pray, right? And I'm like, this is why you make content. You put it everywhere, is measure, rinse, repeat, and then figure out what really works. So anyway, I'll go into vidIQ and we're just gonna go look at some search for topics in technology support that have high search terms, low competition. High search means people are looking for that stuff. Low competition means nobody's making video. They're not making videos with high engagement, and that's what I need to double down on is get back into the tech support stuff because
Mhm.
it's great. It's great traveling around and getting questions from people, and I'm like, good, okay. other people must be running into the same. I don't know what I don't know what technology problems people run into until they ask me because I'm like I can make a bunch of random videos, but it's really nice to have end user input because things change all the time.
Got it.
Okay, let's go into. I'll share my screen here on vidIQ once I am logged in, and but it's funny because I was in DC the other week, and it's an AI conference, and I'm sitting there, and I sort of know like a handful of people in the audience, like I met them previously, but of course they all have these AI businesses and doing amazing things, selling consulting or coaching or whatever in the AI sphere because they all have tools or whatever. And I'm like, I feel like I'm really far behind in AI. And after sitting, like I think it was the second day, there's one person I've met her before, and she, of course, she comes from Broadway, right? So she calls herself the prepared performer. So she does her like she sings from stage. She shows you a couple cool things on AI. She's in this Facebook group. Um, and she starts asking people who's using this tool and who's using this tool. And I'm the only one in the room putting my hand up. And I'm like, wow, okay, I think I'm really far behind with making like not with making YouTube content, but using certain AI tools. And I'm like, I'm the only one in the room in DC putting my arm up. And then I'm like, okay, wow. When you think you're far behind and you realize you're actually kind of ahead of the curve, but I'm also the one teaching YouTube University. So there you go. You never know.
I've met Molly before.
Oh,
We
you've
were
met Molly before. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, she was at Social Media Marketing World. It was 18 or 19. It was right before the pandemic, so I because I haven't been back since. And she was one of the presenters at one of the side. They have all these breakout sessions all day long, and she was really good.
Yeah,
I
no,
think I still get emails from her.
yeah. She's really good. She had the
She's unique.
last. Well, see, I like unique people because unique people got amazing ideas. They've got amazing experiences because she was like asking me questions. She had an after hours session, like 3 hours after hours in like a suite at the Ritz-Carlton.
Mhm.
And she's like, you're using this and this. I want you to come. And then I was like, perfect. Okay, that's fine. Great. And then it got delayed a little bit, but there's a ton of people who showed up in the room, and she's like, hey, I'm doing this and this and this. I'm like, this is exactly what I've taught the last 2 weeks in YouTube University. But she's
Mm.
more advanced in it than I am. So I was like, okay, this is cool. And I'm up in front of the whole group saying, hey, we teach this for free Saturday mornings, YouTube University. And she's like, you should come hang out with me in California in November. And I'm like, are you serious? I'm like, I need dates because I'm like, we're literally gonna probably be in that area if travel plans go well. And I'm just like, this is kind of interesting, right? So, but it's like, yeah, I'm like, you might need to teach me a lot of, because she was like, oh, I'm not very good at YouTube, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you have subscribers, you have watch hours, and Molly, you're already monetized, but you're not focused on optimizing it.
Right.
So maybe we should. And then, of course, I've been messaging. I'm like, if I message you on Facebook Messenger, is it really you or is it a
AI.
assistant? Because this is how I got people ask me how I got banned off Facebook, and I'm like, I had a virtual assistant responding in like 2020, 2021, 2022 at a VA doing all my Facebook. That is one of the reasons my Facebook got shut down. So then I realized, okay, business coaches say delegate, 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 but I'm like, if you have somebody in a foreign country logging into your LinkedIn or your Facebook or your Instagram to manage that stuff, you're probably going to get shut down eventually, right? So because they're not talking at the same, but that was before AI tools where you could like mimic your conversation style and the words coming out of your mouth. But that's the like Like, I just want to verify I'm talking. I know who I'm talking to, right? Because I'm like, hey, send me an invite. I'd love to share what we're doing versus what you guys are doing because it's all about collaboration and making new friends and new places. Because you don't know what you don't know until you meet somebody, and you're like, hey, we're doing the exact same thing, but you probably have way more time to spend on it because you've got employees running the other parts of your business, right? And we're just getting restarted with all that stuff. So. Okay, let me see. Share my screen. Okay, let's share. Where is vidIQ at? Do you see anything?
Today,
Okay, perfect. I got a thumbs up. Okay. Still the black bar at the top of the screen?
yes.
Okay. Okay. So this is one of the vidIQ accounts. Um, so let's go find trending keywords in technology. So, like 2 weeks ago, what we searched for was Word, WordPress and WooCommerce because we had somebody reach out. We had a referral reach out who was struggling with their website and its performance. So we were just searching for a bunch of stuff, and then we're like, okay, this is great. So I'm like, I need some topics to look. So vidIQ has this is the website for vidIQ. I know a lot of people I don't I don't know there's a bunch of tools like vidIQ for optimizing your YouTube's content. There's two I know Kim who's been in the class who's dropped in a couple times. She uses TubeBuddy. Mr. Beast has his own tool that he created. So there's a bunch of plugins like this, which mean which means they all have different interfaces. So, of course, when you're starting to learn a new technology, interfaces can seem overwhelming. And with the vidIQ, they have their website, which is this platform, and then they have their plugin. So I know my wife doesn't ever go into this. She's just using the plugin in Chrome to do titles, descriptions, thumbnails, and getting, you'll type something in and then it will give you a higher ranking description or title or whatever. But this is the back end system where you can find trending keywords, get video ideas. vidIQ will also generate your all your video scripts for you if you want to get to that point, right? So I don't know. Let me see. I'm gonna just type in one question I get all the time is, hey, can you hack a business or do penetration tests or show us where we're weak? And I'm like, yeah, we can do that. Um, I don't think a lot of people search for it though. My main thing with cybersecurity is to verify that you know where your data is. You've got strong passwords for every strong separate passwords for every single website and app you use, and that you got backups because I know technology changes every single month. There's some type of new computer for iPhone, whatever out there. You're going to use it for your business. All There's always going to be new tech issues that pop up, and you're going to just have to figure them out or call an IT guy like me to figure it out. My main thing in the business is always I want to make sure you get backups. So let's just search for backups because that's the number one question I ask for people. I'm like, hey, this doesn't work. Do you have backups so we can test it on a different computer or a different server or something like that? Also, not a lot of people searching for that. Data recovery, backups. I know there's not a lot of this is always the fun challenge with technology. Let's see, related keywords. Let's search it by search volume. Shorts. Why would shorts show up in technology? That's weird.
Well, I my assumption on that one, Mike, with the shorts is that if somebody did make a short which was highlighting some technology, they put that in as a tag because that's one of the tags that gets recommended is if you make a short.
Okay.
So that's my
Okay.
assumption on that.
Okay. That's exactly. It's kind of interesting because under backups, A related keyword is shorts. See, YouTube is this like open treasure box of randomness. So, okay,
And the
let's see.
shorts can definitely cover all randomness because it could be any short people make can put that tag in it. So that's not actually a very good tag per se.
Backups. Let's see. Parking. So I'm using this tool, so it doesn't matter if I'm searching for cybersecurity for computer support or if I'm searching for inspirational content for this spirituality channel I've got, or Dubai real estate. I'm literally coming in here, searching for stuff, typing in things, seeing what shows up, because what we want to do is find something that's got high search volume and low competition, and then we can generate a script. And then I'm literally just reading through the script to make sure it makes sense. I can follow along with it, and then I just rewrite it in my own words so it doesn't sound completely AI generated, because I'm starting to learn by reading Facebook posts, Instagram posts, LinkedIn posts, and comments what stuff look like. Images you can tell, and I'm assuming every image, most videos on the internet are AI generated now because they just look too perfect, or they look like they've got some hilarious fails in them. But words can get funny because you're just like you don't necessarily know if something's AI written unless you've conversed with that human before and you know what their vocab level is, compared to AI is just going to generate perfect words and perfect sentences every single time, and you're like, hey, do the words that person typed out. I called somebody out last night because I saw a post and I'm like, this response looks like this person wrote it, because I know that person. I've met that person multiple times before. I know they've got a very high vocabulary level. This comment looks like they wrote it in person, and then everything else on that Facebook post looks like it's AI generated for comments. But I know a ton of people using AI generation for their comments because they don't want to type words anymore. They don't want to have communication. You know, resumes are automatically AI generated, and job postings are automatically AI generated now, and YouTube scripts are automatically AI generated now, right? So it's like,
Can
um,
I defend a chat or AI generated
go
comments?
ahead. I'm not. I
That
just.
my only defense of that is that at least you can make sure it sounds less obnoxious and angry, especially if you are upset or not happy. It'll make it sound substantially more civil than what you may have done.
Oh, I agree. There is a place and a time where you want to make sure something gets responded to. You want to make sure it has a certain tone. I'm just finding that when you meet people online, like you'll meet people on a Zoom, you'll meet people online through social media, whatever. You meet people in person, you're like, hey, is the best way to contact you cell phone? Is it email? Is it WhatsApp? Is it Facebook or Instagram or any of this stuff? I'm assuming if I'm talking to somebody via text message, it's not going to be AI generated content. Email, probably 50-50. And then when we're getting into social media, I know everything can be automated. So I'm assuming if I'm getting a response on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, if it's a one word response, it was typed by a human. If it is an eloquent sentence, it's likely all AI generated. And it's just kind of, it's not that it's, lessening my opinion of them. I'm just like, okay, how much, like, when you actually talk to them in person, what's that conversation level going to be at? Because do they talk a lot or are they very quiet? Like, you don't know how to interpret humans after having AI conversation with them and then meeting them in person. And in a video, you're not, yeah, you're talking to them it's a script that you wrote with the help of AI, but they're just listening to it. They're not conversing with you. So I just know from me having conversations with humans, I just want to have an idea um, if everything that came out of their mouth was generated by a robot or not. So okay, so I know a lot of people ask me about hacking courses. This is one of these side topics that I get asked a lot about, and I don't teach hacking courses, but I refer them to online courses. But I know it's got a huge score because obviously hacking, people search, kids are searching for it, cybersecurity people are searching for it. Everybody wants to know how to hack. There's a lot of people out there who want to know how to hack people, and it's like, go run a course because I've just learned it through lived experiences as opposed to taking a course. All my courses, all the university education I've had trained me to back up, back up, back up, and make sure you know have good passwords. I didn't take any university training for hacking, so I just learned it from um, learned experiences. So it's got a high search, so a lot of people search for it. Competition is not high, it's medium. I prefer things that have low competition, but that's not too bad. Actually, like, so we'd want something that's a little bit lower, but I might just go with this with these keywords because I know that I'll rank my channel is called my main YouTube channel. My one of the monetized channels is Don't Get Hacked, Call Me for Help. It's the one that I put my podcast on, and so I could literally rank for this ethical hacking keywords. So let just go look at scroll down the website and just look to see what the keywords are. And ethical search volume. Perfect. That's got a high search volume. Yeah, it's just what people are searching, when people are searching for ethical hacking, these are all the other keywords that they're searching for. So,
I thought that was kind of funny that it said interview tips. So is ethical hacking an interview? Like I'm a little confused by that
well,
connection.
no, it's just like these are like all go to the bottom, and this is what all my competition's doing, and my competition is way more subscribers than I do. So you're like, okay, 1.1 million. So I'm at like 2,000. 1.9K subs. So I I'd have to, it'd be interesting to go actually check all these accounts that have thousands of subs and find out if they're actually like this is a lot of views. You know, if it's a couple hundred views, they're likely not going to be a monetized. It doesn't matter if they're a monetized account. It just if they are monetized, the content that they're making is actually getting watch time versus videos that are just being thrown up without any watch time. So depend it just proves if your videos are good, right? So and it's always good to know what the competition is doing. Not that I care about the competition, it's just that, hey, these videos, people are actually searching for them, and there's a lot of, of course, there's going to be AI in here because I've been using AI to protect my clients for years. Everybody's using AI in some form. Of course, it's over in cybersecurity. Okay. Let's just see. Ethical hacking, 101, search volume. I'm just gonna click on interview tips because it's interesting to see what people are searching for. What are your biggest weaknesses? Okay, let's go. Script writer. But yeah, with any of these tools like vidIQ, there's gonna be, you gotta get on here, do a little bit of research, and you can go create thumbnails, scripts. And this is legitimately what I'm using it for is clickbait, titles, descriptions, and I want scripts because when you're creating videos, Unless you're doing an interview, like interviews are generally straightforward and easy. You know, you get a bunch of interview questions and you're just having a conversation with them with another human, right? So it's easy to fill out 20, 30 minutes when you're asking somebody questions. But when you're making a video where it's instructional or do it yourself or whatever it is, and you know what topics you're bringing up, the words you're speaking, your pace, your tone, and after you've made that video, after you've recorded that video, you're watching it to say, hey, does this actually flow properly? Um, there might be certain things where you teach where there's a lot of there's a lot of it doesn't matter if you're accurate or not because it's kind of like you got a little bit of giveaway or it doesn't need to be technically accurate. Technology in my field has to be technically accurate because you're gonna get called out if something if something is not accurate yourself, and then I'm like, I don't want to be putting up videos that I'm saying one thing and I'm not like 99% accurate on that. It'd be like science or medicine or engineering, like building something. Like when you physically build a piece of furniture, like your measurements have to be accurate, or that piece of furniture, that countertop is not going to look good. It's not going to be functional. Same thing goes with computers, so or to anything technical. So let's go into script writer. Actually, where was I? Because I know last time when I was in here, I found the keyword. When I did my research, it just automatic. Okay, yes. You know what? Let me just go back to the one that we did for WooCommerce because it's already there. So this script was automatically generated by vidIQ when we were looking up WooCommerce because I don't build what I fix a lot of things. WordPress websites, one thing I've got no problem fixing. It's not my favorite platform. I tell people if they're going to do e-commerce that they should be on Shopify. David, who's in this class right now, he's got a site on Shopify. I know person I was talking to yesterday, they're on Shopify. So I know if you want e-commerce, Shopify's a great system. If you're really into tech and building your own website, a lot of people choose WordPress, but there's so many variables that can cause your WordPress website to suck and be slow and get hacked. There's all this maintenance that goes on with WordPress. So when I was being asked about why is my e-commerce WordPress site slow? And I started doing research on YouTube, and then I came into vidIQ. We found that WooCommerce was had a lot of high searches, but there wasn't many videos about how to fix WooCommerce. So when we searched through the keywords, it generated this script. And then I read through this and I was like, hey, um, this is the title that vidIQ automatically generated. It said 7 WooCommerce hacks that actually work. So I was like, hey, okay, since I don't deal with WooCommerce every single day, I'm going to read through this script and make sure it sounds factually accurate. And this sounded pretty good because picture this, a shopper clicks checkout, then watches the wheel spin for a second. So of course, the hook is your website's slow. Somebody's trying to check out and then it starts spinning, which is indicating that either the internet's slow or the website's slow, right? vidIQ put some jokes in here. So in the video I generated, I cut out half of this hook because I'm like, there's only a joke in there. Like it's okay if there's jokes in there, but I'm just like realistically, we know the problem is the website's slow. And the person who built the website knows it's slow because when they go into their backend system, as soon as they're adding photos to WooCommerce for their store, she's explaining to me, hey, everything is slow. And then when, of course, as an end user, I'm going to your website and the website loads and all the photos are starting to just like slowly load like we were on dial-up internet. If anybody remembers dial-up internet, you're like, hey, you'd have to just wait for every image to be drawn on the website. This is exactly what this person's experiencing with their WooCommerce website. Um, so I was like, okay, well, how do you fix a WooCommerce WordPress website that's slow? Well, people would be using plugins for WordPress is a website platform that uses a lot of plugins, right? So if you want to add calendar or e-commerce, whatever you want to add to your website, it's called a plugin. So first you'd have to test the speed, and, so I'm like, okay, hack number one sounds like a valid troubleshooting step. Hack number two, I know this is valid, checking the PHP server version because I've built WordPress websites before, and when they don't work, it's usually because somebody hasn't updated to the latest version of PHP. So I'm like, hey, vidIQ generated this script. Hack number two makes sense as well. And then I just went through all of these hacks, and I'm like, okay, all of this stuff was what I found in random articles and random videos that I was finding as a part of my research to give this person an answer. So I'm like, okay, this script was completely auto-generated by vidIQ, all made sense to me. My only challenge right now is that I rather than me speaking this script, I had typed it into um, an AI video generator, one of the ones that we use. It's called HeyGen. And I knew that, well, David and Julie saw it the last 2 weeks where I typed the script in, but of course, because there is certain there's dashes and the pound symbol, there's just we were getting a lot of error messages, and I was like, okay, so going general we brought this up with another AI video generator that we used, um, Syllabi, where if we use any type of all these AI video generators work differently. Sometimes when you type the script in, it gives you an accurate length because it's estimating how long a video is gonna be based on the script that you type in. And all of them usually have, they'll write a script for you, or you can type your own script in. But of course, if it's not you speaking the script and you're using some type of AI voice or character or software to do it, you don't know how long the video is going to be. You don't know if the computer is going to be able to, pronounce all the words that you chose properly, the punctuation you chose, et cetera, et cetera. So we were just having I've been having a bunch of issue with it with a script like this. I haven't gone through and edited out the hyphens or the commas or the quotations or any of that stuff. So the AI has just been throwing a bunch of error messages, and I was hoping to have the video done, but then we've been busy the last 2 weeks. So I was like, okay, this is a great, like, technically this script is amazing, but I have to go and edit it and just make sure it's super simple because of course I want the my AI clone or one of my other AI employees to be able to speak the script properly and not get stuck. I think they got stuck on the word instantaneous, and that kept screwing up the AI thing, and I was like, this is I don't know. Anyway, so just an
My only
example.
comment on that is it's amazing the words that it can't say yet. I've given it Sanskrit words and it's had no issues, but then there'll be a basic word and you're like, I don't know why it doesn't know the basic word.
You know what? I was just looking at this, and it's like the suggestion right here is make it sound like Mr. Beast, and that interests me. So I'm just gonna click on that and just see what it does. Because I'm just saying, I don't always. I usually my uh my podcast my Mupo entertainment show, Don't Get Hacked, Call Me for Help, where I did 13 where I do it yourself tech support. I didn't use AI to write any of that. That was all out of my own brain, which took a really long time to make one season, 13 episodes. But of course, that was before AI tools. That was like 2020, 2020. it was 2021 when I started working on that show. I wrote it all myself, but then of course I found recording me reading a script in front of a camera took 7 days to get it all figured out. So I was like, AI tools are great to help you with cut down the time for idea generation, script generation, but then of course you have all these new variables that come in like troubleshooting, rewriting stuff that doesn't make sense. Because I watch other YouTube channels and other YouTube classes, and people have this stuff all auto-generated. They have it all programmed. They use make.com. There's a bunch of platforms where you can say, hey, where you can actually train all this software to make your stuff automatically. But then I'm like, you still have to make sure it sounds good because I think that if it's all automatically done, people may not care, but I care. So I want to make sure my videos sound factual and there's not glitches in them, et cetera, et cetera. And I've seen a lot of stuff out there where I'm just like, okay, I'm not interested anymore. You have my attention for 2 or 3 minutes, and now I can tell it's all automatically generated. But anyway, this was rewritten to make it sound like Mr. Beast. So I don't know if this is accurately to sound like Mr. Beast, but you know what? It actually got rid of a lot of the maybe I'll copy that into Hey Gen and see because you know what? It got rid of a lot of the techno babble that was
I
generated.
like section, was it 7, where it said this is the final boss is in the script
Yeah,
there?
yeah, yeah, I know. I'm just like, wait a minute. This actually kind of sounds funny. And you know, the issue we were having with HeyGen was I was typing the script in, and like HeyGen doesn't actually have and Kirsten may not know what HeyGen is, so I'm just gonna go open it up. So I will fix my screen sharing once I'm logged in here, in case it went away. I'm not sure if it closed or not. Let's see. Screen sharing, and let's make sure I'm just showing the whole screen because that's okay. As long as I can get in here. I just want to see if this week it works better because I noticed that they did updates and they've changed their logo and a whole bunch of stuff. So I just want to see if the script throws any error messages because I was having a lot of issues with the script the last 2 weeks where it just can't estimate how long it's going to be and it keeps throwing an error message and I bet it's just all the height, all the punctuation. Okay, let's go create video and let's see if this script works better. It wants to load. That's a different question. Oh, there we go. Okay. This WordPress website has not been fixed because I've given her a lot of feedback and then I get a lot of complaints and I'm like, okay, this is how it's gonna go. I'm gonna tell you exactly what you need to do with your stuff and you're just gonna sit there and absorb it for a while. So avatar doesn't matter. It's just a test. Why does that look like a vet? Okay. Whatever, doesn't matter. We're just doing it as a test. It's not my normal avatar.
The country folk, it's super appropriate.
Yeah, I just want to because when I was using my normal female avatar Lucy, it wouldn't actually generate how long the video was going to be, right? So it just kept, and then it would crash. It would, because even David saw it. It would go. It looked like it was processing and throw an error message, and I was like, okay, now I have to literally go rewrite the whole. Which is what I coach. What I typically say is auto-generate a script and then go rewrite it in your own words. But of course, that first script, I was just like, hey, I see people automating this stuff all the time. Like I know another digital nomad, also named Mike, and I watch his videos, and he's literally ChatGPT writes the video. So he's got ChatGPT there, he's got HeyGen, and he's got YouTube. So he's not even manually touching anything in his YouTube channel, his monetized YouTube channel. He's not even manually touching any of the process, and it just runs through the whole sequence. And I'm like, I don't even know how many hours of troubleshoot. Well, he's a computer programmer by trade, so I know he's probably spent thousands of hours sitting in front of the computer figuring out the workflow. That does not sound. I've got patience. I don't know if I've got that much patience. So I was like, okay, this is interesting. So and then this is what Molly was showing was she's like, hey, look, I've designed you know, all my ideas, my scripts, my titles, everything. And she's got it in a Google Sheet, and that's what she's programmed HeyGen, this software, to talk to her Google Sheet. All of her videos are auto-generated, and I was like, wow, okay, I've actually, you know what? I'm not going to edit anymore because class is almost over. I just want to see if this actually generates without throwing an error message. Except I want to put captions in there. So let's just hit captions just to make sure the video is accessible. As per our friend Roxy, she's like, captions everywhere. And I'm like, yeah, Roxy, I understand. We need captions everywhere in case people are listening without audio or English is not their first language. We want to make sure that we can, you know what? I don't need the word title on there. Okay. I don't also need the word intro or hook in there, but you know what? We just want to see if this is going to work this week without complaints. Let's call it WooCommerce Try 3 because we've been trying to get this thing to generate a video without a complaint for 3 weeks in a row. I also didn't choose the voice, so I'm not even sure what voice it's gonna use, but let's see, because this one threw an error message. I think last week yeah, see, we got an error message again. And it's weird because there's not supposed to be a time limit of 180 seconds, and it's throwing a time limit error message on this one. So I have to actually open up tech support and ask them because I think I've got like 30 minutes of credits on this account. So why am I having a problem um, generating it? Unless there's an issue with the punctuation that's in that script that was auto-generated. So anyway. That's what I've been working on is trying to figure out a way. I got a bunch of YouTube channels I need to work on. I have a bunch of my own YouTube channels I need to I'm working on generating videos for. I've got a few others that I'm consulting with, and I've met people recently who've automated this whole process with HeyGen, and I am trying to figure out how they did it because it's nice when you have content. The whole goal is to empower all the students in this class to make content. And how do we make content? Well, you either got to get in front of this camera and record yourself, or you need to figure out a way to make content that to put on your social medias and get your word out there and get your products out there, promote your business, whatever you're using that content for. Um, it is almost 10. I've got to take my daughter to the museum that we're parked at. Does anyone have any questions Or yeah, does anyone have any questions for me?
I have one.
Go ahead.
So I'm looking at this Hey Gen, and maybe the universe is bringing me an answer because I was saying to somebody the other day, I have to create 30 short videos for a course I was creating. And some of the videos, I don't know what happened to them, whatever. And would I be able to use that for that?
Yeah, well, I didn't show you. They have an app, so they got the website and they have the app on the phone, right? So on the phone, um, I uploaded my photo. I uploaded my photo and animated me speaking. Because what we're doing right now is I was asked to make instructional videos in both English, Spanish, French, and Arabic. And I'm like, well, I don't speak I don't speak French. I don't speak English either. I don't speak those other languages. And then I was like, wait a minute, I could literally go into HeyGen and make. So what we're doing is for our low tick. I've got a new offer, which is going to be low ticket, which is going to be just a bunch of training video. It's going to be a bunch of training videos, like 2 minute long training videos on how to what you need to do what you need to know to protect yourself. If you don't want to pay me monthly package, you can just pay $50 and we're going to just give you a course with a bunch of training videos. So I'm using myself for male English. I'm using another avatar for female English, and we're gonna go just record all these videos. But we're using HeyGen because I can use the same script and just choose a bunch of different avatars, and HeyGen just pumps them out. So um, I've that's what we're doing right now. So I've already they've all been created, they've all been uploaded to. Because what I'm gonna do is when people come in, I'm just gonna say I built an app. It asks you a bunch of questions about your business. If you choose the do it yourself, learn how to protect yourself, you're just going to get a link to a YouTube playlist, and all the videos are there, and you can choose male English, female English, male Spanish, whatever. And because I'm just going to build the army of virtual employees, and you can just get listen to me speaking, or if you prefer a female, or if you prefer Spanish, you can choose whatever training videos in whatever language. I'm doing it all in HeyGen. So I can send you links to my face talking, and it's all AI. I just uploaded a picture of my face. And it's me talking, or I've got the female, or I got the Spanish speaker, or I got the Arabic speaker, and it's all done in HeyGen. I've been working on that since August. So it's like I've been in HeyGen for like a month. Just I wrote the scripts and then I'm just like copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. But of course I just had to edit it based on pacing because of course when you have an AI voice talking, you might want more you know what you sound like. But once you put it through a computer, the pacing might be off a little bit. We have the It works amazing. And if you ever see, you said you know Molly, you've run into her before. All her videos on social media are all AI. She showed us the whole thing.
Nice.
So it's not her talking. It's like literally her employees are taking scripts, typing them into HeyGen, showing it to her. She's giving the thumbs up or the thumbs down, and they go with it.
I just found out I went to log in because I'm like, okay, let me create an account because I can play around with this. Randomly, I must have signed up at one time because my email's already there.
It
So
gets it gets because I'm gonna let you know I tried using it in November and I did not like it at all.
I,
It's so much better, but now we're almost a year later, so I was like, wait a minute. I can make a bunch of female avatars. I could, for the Middle East market, I can make a bunch of different Arabic speakers, and you can just I'm really making a choose your own adventure. So we're just making we made an app. People can like I'm like okay, people like you. I just want a mic chat bot. And I'm like, I can do that. Because then I'm like, oh wait, everybody's been trained to use Chat GPT in the last 2 years. And I've been told in the Middle Eastern market that if you had an app, we'd buy from you, but we don't want to talk to you on Zoom. And I was like, okay. So I really just need my website to be a chat bot where you ask it questions. You get two or three free answers, and then you pay per qual. Like they're like, yeah, that would be amazing. And I'm like, so being international is telling me what people in other markets want. And I was like, this is super interesting. I just need to have a like so it's like, oh wait, I could just do data collection, have people have my website, go to this app, you ask it technical questions, and I'm just storing those technical questions, and I can just fire up new like knowledge base answer, like new videos based on the random questions you're typing into my website. And I was like, wow, I don't have to sit there and record it. I can just literally, hey, we've got a new question. Make an answer, go to HeyGen, have a couple videos spit out, throw them on a private YouTube playlist because I just thought I'm like, well, wait a minute. I can just literally, if I just send people to my YouTube with private links, then they can just start consuming all that content on YouTube. They can then start consuming all my other content on YouTube, and that will build that know, like, and trust. Because if they're brand new to me, they may know of me and maybe like me, but they don't trust me until they say, oh, hey, he's been making tech support videos for
Right.
years. Why didn't we know him before? Well, just because I wasn't in their universe, right?
Mhm, mhm.
But I was just like, I just learned about HeyGen, and I'm like, Molly's using it for like she's been using it for a couple months. I was like, wait a minute, your audience, and then I'm like, wait a minute, her audience doesn't know it's AI.
Got it.
Everybody's assuming it, but it's so smooth and good. As I said, hey Jet, I was in the same boat, Kristen. I'm like, because I had a different AI avatar over on Syllabi, and then they deleted it because they're not in that business anymore. They're not doing AI avatars because HeyGen's so good. And it's like, wait a minute. Okay. I
Mhm.
used it. I didn't like it. And then I came back and I'm like, oh shit. Yeah, that AI avatar sucked. It's so bad. And then I was just like sitting in the hotel room in Dubai, took my iPhone, took a picture of me, and then I was like, this is so much better. Why am I worried about outfits and lighting in my hair? Like I don't even have to, or how much sleep I've had when I'm recording. Because that was the biggest thing I found when I was recording videos was you can tell if you're wide awake and have had a lot of sleep versus the days you're recording and you're completely exhausted. Right? The bags underneath your eyes, and then what your skin complexion looks like. Because I found that, in Dubai, I looked amazing, and I come back to North America, and I was like, oh, I'm just so dry. So like, why am I peeling from my forehead? Am I sunburned? I'm like, oh wait, the water difference between having showers in Dubai for a week at a hotel and then coming back and having showers in an RV, right? So
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
like, I just want to take my best looking photo and have AI make me look amazing consistently.
Well, there's that. I think this will help with some of my consistency problem because I come up with scripts or like these shorts of
Yep.
like one of the courses I did and I pushed it out to my people last year it was Abundant August, but everything says abundant August, and I can't, it's very difficult to sell it as abundance when it has the month in it. So I was like, well, I can go in and find the videos and refilm those. And then I found out I only have 20. I don't know where the other 10 went. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to redo the whole thing now that I know when I'm doing something like that to not record the month, and then I can push it out as a course. And yeah, so this would help with that, I think.
Yeah,
I'm excited. I'm
and
excited.
realistically, it's just learning because you're like, hey, I've got this great idea. I'm gonna put all this work in. I'm gonna record stuff, put it out there, and it works. So you're happy with it, and then you're like, oh wait, now you're analyzing. You're like, oh, I could have done this better, but you're only gonna learn to do things better or more efficiently once you've
Yes.
already gone through that process, right? And
Yeah.
you're like, hey, I'm struggling with this. And somebody's like, why aren't you using this other thing? I'm like, well, we've used like four different AI video generators, and I've never really been happy with them. But it's like, wait a minute, it's technology. Everything gets better tomorrow.
Mm.
So you're gonna get frustrated, things are gonna waste time, you're gonna waste a bunch of money, and you're like, but without going through that process, you're not looking, you wouldn't have been looking for a better way to do it. I looked at Hey Gen November of last year and was like, no, I don't like this. I don't like their AI avatars. And then I was like, wait a minute. Because somebody's like, why don't you just make an app where people can? I'm literally making a choose your own adventure where you come to, because our challenge right now is we can have people go to our website, but they're booking Zoom calls and not showing up for the Zoom call. And then I'm like, okay, wait a minute. If we just built an app where they can ask us any question, they get an instant response, they can get sent to training videos, etc. They don't have to necessarily engage. They don't have to. They don't ever have to
Mm.
engage with me personally in order for me to collect money from them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I have to just remove myself out of the situation. And then if they want to show, if they want to have more training or one-on-one, like it was really the funny, the biggest thing I got out of the conference I was at with Molly is that everybody, the big ticket stuff seems to have gone away and everybody's doing like micro sales, which is like, hey, come join this community or this newsletter. Come join this for $5. Come join this for $10. But just make sure that all your deliverables, it's not one-on-one. You're doing one to many. So you're sending them to like a newsletter, a video course, something like that. It's just because people they're interested, but they're like, well, I'm interested in spending $5 or $10 or maybe $50 on something. I'm not going to give you $100 anymore. And you're like that. We're just in that like trust recession right now where people want to follow your stuff, but they don't want to give you $100. It's like, hey, I will take $5. I'll take $50 for a course. If you don't care that it's an AI generated video and I'm just giving you PDF worksheets, I'm good with that. Let's try that for the next season or two going into the winter and build new audiences that way. So I was like, okay, this is interesting. And then people show me what they've done. They're like, hey, 100 people bought, 200 people bought, 500 people bought at $5. I'm like, hey, that's more money than zero.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Okay, but I gotta go to the museum, so I'll talk to you guys later. I'll see you next Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern. All right. Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.